We need to rappel or abseil on a fully loaded rope and are unable to attach our device. What do we do? Hello, I'm Jason. We've done videos about going from rappel to ascend on a rope, as well as going from ascending to rappelling. Today, though, we need to rappel a line that is fully weighted. That means there isn't any slack we can grab to thread our device as per the norm. This could happen for a few reasons, but maybe the most intimidating is that you sent a partner down on rappel, that partner becomes incapacitated while hanging on the rope, and now you need to get down to them because with their injuries, you are unwilling to risk a haul or lower. What do we do now? Well, we can rig the line with friction hitches as if we were going to ascend, but use it to descend, with one variation. Oh, and this system will work with both double and single strand rappels. So we want to attach a Prusik cord to the rope and attach that cord to our waist. I'm using a VT hitch here, but there are other options and considerations that we'll get into in a minute. We want to make sure that we can still reach that cord when we are leaning back and weighting it. This also makes a good test of the hitch's hold. But if we make it too short, we will have to do many resets of the system on the way down, as you'll see. So if we need to extend this, we can, but we want to make sure we are using lockers, as this will be part of our life-maintaining system. Now, below that Prusik, we want to attach another Prusik. This will be for our foot loop. And here is where we deviate from the rope ascension setup a bit. When we are ascending, we will typically tie a catastrophe knot below us and clip that into our harness. I like to use a Clove Hitch in many circumstances, and you can watch a short video we did that explains why. But in this case, again, we can't bring up slack to make that knot, and we don't want our lives to be dependent upon just our waist friction hitch. So we want the second friction hitch to attach to our waist and our foot loop. Again, lots of solutions, but the keys are that it be a locked attachment to our harnesses, as it is now the backup system for our lives, and that it has more slack in that attachment to the waist than the waist Prusik. If it doesn't, it may keep us from ever unweighting the foot loop and weighting the waist Prusik when we lean back. So I'm tying a Klemmheist using a length of cord. I want to test this hitch, then with one end I can make an attachment point to my harness, and with the other end I can simply tie some kind of slip knot. Here I'm using half of a double fisherman's at the right distance to keep it on my foot and allow me to stand up in it. I'm also tying an extra stopper just to keep the remaining tail from catching on anything and shoving into my pocket the extra tail from the connection to my waist. So, back to the friction hitch considerations. We normally do not want our lives dependent upon friction hitches. We do have two of them in place, so that helps, but we also want to consider materials. Take, for example, this foot Prusik. The extra slack in the system means that the slack will only get loaded if the waist Prusik above fails. That means if it does get loaded, it will get mildly shock loaded. It's theoretically possible that the foot Prusik could fail while I'm standing in it, thus shocking the waist Prusik too. So I choose to avoid materials that don't have a core, like the hollow block, or that are extra slippery, like Dyneema. We could probably get away with nylon in a pinch, but the Kern mantle design, that is having both a core and sheath like a climbing rope, is extra security for an already tenuous situation. Now that we are set up and connected on 2 points, we can begin to move, and it is just the reverse mechanics of ascending. We move our foot hitch to a point where we can just barely unweight our waist hitch, stand up in the foot loop, thus unweighting the waist, then move the waist hitch down to just above the foot hitch. We want to take care not to jam the two hitches together. Now we can sit back and weight the waist, and therefore unweight the foot and allow us to move the foot hitch down again. We repeat until we are down to where we need to be. Less than ideal, but better than being stuck above a potentially injured partner. Ever had to descend a weighted rope? What were the circumstances? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share if you want to support us. For more information, you can go to our website at www.shortguysbetaworks.com. You can check out that video I mentioned about transitioning from rappelling to ascending, or you can check out our entire rock climbing safety series. We'll see you next week and keep on getting more out of that big outside.